Okay, if this is on, this is Texas Danny, March the 29th, 2021, early Monday. It's about 0100 a.m. here in Texas, Central Time, United States of America, North America, Earth maybe, big maybe. This has got to be put in plain English, and this has got to be quick. This is, without a doubt, a piss off everybody video, okay? Because it can't be helped. It's got to be done because it's got to come out in plain English, and it's got to be quick. A lot's got to be crammed into a little bit of a space here, okay? We have a situation where we've got trigger words that have been used to kind of alert us inside the program to wake us up, okay? To get us up out of the sack, to alert us, to aggravate us, to annoy us, I don't know what. The messages are coming through loud and clear, but they're also confusing. We have a tremendous amount going on. I don't need to point this out, but I'm going to point it out to you because this is right in your face part of the equation, okay, for our shutdown mechanisms. We have really kicked it in the ass and moved up gears, okay, in velocity. We're moving very, very, very fast. Now, when this happens, there is no doubt about it, no joke, baby, we got to drop mass, and we got to drop mass quick. That's part of the program. If you've ever had to obey nature and you've had no choice in the issue, even in the most embarrassing situations, and you've got to do it, you've got to do it. All right? That's got to be done. There's no ifs, ands, or, excuse the phrase, buts about it. It's got to be done. And that's what we're doing. We're hauling ass, we're hauling the mail, and we've got to drop mass. Now, in the situation that we have the dilemma of the duality of the situation, and that's our dual running mechanism, where we have the active alert programming and we have the unconscious slumber sleep program going on. Okay, it's part of the mechanism. It's absolutely necessary, and we're in it and we're doing it. But when these situations come about, whether they're a routine, normal prompt, and this is a normal situation, this is nothing more than a wake-up call, and that's all it is, or this is a semi-emergency of sorts, a moderate situation, or this is a major event, or this is a maximum urgent situation that we're in, that an extreme emergency. I don't know. It may be such as the situation that we're, hey, guess what? The thing in itself is the situation. It's calling up the alert and saying, let's open everything up is what's wrong. We have something to be worked out. And we have the integrity of two systems to work out as well. The system that is currently working on the status, the current status system, is extremely enormous, right? There's like super zillion quantum computers out there going to town, just doing the everyday stuff, ins and outs, the back and forth, deliver the mail, that kind of thing. Then we have the situation of what the change in status is, and to the alterations of what our awareness and our consciousness is, what we're having to do here. Now, the dilemma, the circumstances that we have is being played out right in front of us because we're having curtailments everywhere. The entire venue in front of you is saying, okay, we've got to shut down. We've got to take this information and we've got to just drastically pull it back. We don't have the capacity, especially since we're having to cut down these systems to change to the status that we've just went into. Now, in my evaluation of my own circumstances, where I've looked at the media programming, my memory, my life, that kind of thing like that, and went through everything that I'm getting. Now, I've had to look at some real ugly stuff to just kind of let it just like sludge hit me. And it's doing an evaluation process. This is 1,000,000 times more thorough than anything I can do when I'm peeking back at it. But I'm trying to get the status of where we're at right now. And that's what we have, people, is we have the dilemma of the two systems trying to come to an equality, an equilibrium. We're coming to a singularity we're coming to a still point. And that's an absolute necessity because of our velocity, because of our movements, and because of the information systems that we're working with and the mechanical systems that we're working with. The system has to shut down. It has to shut down at the same time it's hauling ass and speeding up, and it has to do both. Now, just like anybody has had experiences in their memory, nobody wants to get up out of a nice, warm sack and hit the cold, dark ass breeze, okay? Especially when we don't know what we're facing. Now, it's obvious if you look out there and you see what's going out and you read the tea leaves, if you understand the system is out in front of you right now, that you're getting the active playlist right in front of your eyes, and you're in interactions. Now, I have the problem with the situation that we have with the vacants. Now, with the vacants, this is the problem. There is an absolute genuine effort for system stability. It's built in, and it's integral. It's just absolutely necessary. But it can work against function, and that's when we come to these points where we have to transition, and we have to do them rapidly, where the system wants to keep the status quo, and it has the situation where it has to work the options that it has to do, and do them quickly, even in the sense of where we're removed from the time, where we're sensing time in a drastically different way right now. The narrative that I'm looking at when I'm looking at Google Earth and the physical environment that I have in front of me, my physical maps, that kind of thing like that, my interactions with the people around me are varied. You cannot, of course, talk right to the system. It will, believe me, drive it into general direct piss-offness and double quick, okay? And the same way, also, you can miss the system's signals to you, where it thinks it's using plain, slow, common language, trying to use sign language and talk to you slowly and quietly to lead you to a point, all right? That is happening, and it's in a mutual context. Our vacant systems are a problem in this. We are in that situation where we may, because of the situation that we're in, where we're acting, taxing the system far too much, where we don't have the capacity. We do not have the informational capacity to put into the system. We're going to be shooting blanks, and that's going to get ugly. That system is in your slumbering state, right, what you're existing in your life and that kind of thing like that, and going through your 9 to 5 daily existence, and you're trying to work out how you're going to do this and how you're going to do that, and you're here, you're in this place, and you're living this existence, and we've got the system call, wake up, get up, whether it's a normal event, whether it's something that just needs to be worked, whether it's a major serious issue or a catastrophe. I don't know. We have the situation where we've got the skipper is on the bridge. The skipper's up there on the bridge. I'm on the bridge. Get up, wake up, okay? Now the system, of course, though, it's, again, we are working this out, and it's working very, very quickly, but it's not easy, because the system is trying to keep its integrity to what it is of itself, its stability. It has to. You cannot just flip the light switch on everybody and say, "Hey, wake up, up," and have everybody get a shock and say, "What? I'm not in the Bahamas." It's going to be something like that, folks, and you're going to have these situations work on you, and they're going to work on you in a shrill fashion if you don't come to some terms, psychological terms. Now, we have Luna out there in a transformational pattern going around us in the rotund, going around us, theater in the round, okay? It's giving you kind of a look. It's saying, hey, look at me, I'm up here, and it's giving you your stage set. You ought to be able to have a chance to look around in your environment and try to adapt. I've tried to cook it a little bit in my imagination, and again, and looked at the ugly side. The systems come through with an extremely advanced, quick analysis pattern where it flows the information to you. It's probing. Okay, now I've looked back to see what it is, and I said, okay, we've got some situation where it's trying to do some analysis, where it's trying to do some evaluations, some judgments, and that kind of thing like that, because this has to be done extremely, extremely quickly. But at the same time, months and months have been going by. The time factor is not the same for all of us. Now, I'm going to give you also another image to look at, and that is Antarctica. If you're at all familiar with the 1982 John Carpenter film, The Thing, right, starring Kurt Russell, our commander, Kurt Russell, our boss. I'm just going to call him Snake Plissken, the boss, right? The hatch is open. It's open. Need to go in there and look around. Of course, that's problematic. Why? Every time I've been dreaming and I realized I'm dreaming and I said, hey, I'm dreaming, I wake up in the dream. When go past the circumference of that hatch in Antarctica, trying to enter into a void area of where our capacity is as far as our information systems are working. What I'm trying to tell you is this. The system has tried to adapt and shut down everything it could shut down in the time frame it has. We have the additional bad problem of vacants, right? That's right. Vacants popping in and saying, you know what? While we're here, let's take the place over. Yes, that's exactly right. You have a contrast program that's been written, and it's in conflict. It's pummeling up right against each other. When I've looked at the system and I've seen the information come down to me in the evaluation, that's a real rough road to go over, folks, because that's giving you some psychological problems. Now, I'm going to use, again, and remind everybody, this is an adult subject. And if you are not an adult, and if you're an adult and there's non-adults present and you're interested in this subject, have everybody vacate, because this has got to get quick. We have no time to mess around right now, ironically, even though we're not experiencing it at the same level. Okay, so any minors or anyone who is sensitive to this material whatsoever, everybody please leave or turn this material off. This is going to get hairy. This is going to get really hairy. This is necessary. This has got to be in plain English, okay? So I'm going to give yourself about a long 20-second count. Go over this material once again. What I'm giving you information is this. Our systems, and let's say the primal system is something base and vulgar and say really simple to understand in expression, say a volcano, right? That being a metaphor for whatever you want. And the gross mass material and everything like that being transferred over to a pyramid shape, a concentrated shape, a mathematically formatted structure. Okay, the raw base material, right, is there, but in a certain capacity. Shaped and formed into that pyramid, there's only so much that can go in there, and you're going to be shooting blanks. Now, again, here we go with the adult material for everybody to be ready for. In our hyper sleep status, right, those things that are provided to us, right, have a certain capacity, have a certain level of function, and work on certain different levels and stuff like that. The system is designed to have integrity. It's to keep composed. It's absolutely got to be maintained. Now, when we have a failure of information, right, information capacity, data, okay, that we're going to try to use and we're going to try to bring into the system and utilize, we're going to have a situation where it's the vacants, not the aware conscious mind, but the vacants, which want to bring and draw that data and use it, okay? And they do not have any depth, okay? That's what I'm trying to let you know right now. The vacants are exactly that. They're vacant. There's something that's artificial, that's false, that's not real, that's trying to step into something, right, and create its own reality without conscience. No conscience, folks. It has no conscience. Now, in the evaluations and the readouts of my mind, it's painful, right? But it kind of runs a barometer. It goes, from 100 down to 0 and everything else like that, and does the read and says, man, we have got one screwed up sick puppy here. Perv deluxe, right? But there's somebody there. It reads me. It knows, yes, there is a spirit, a soul, a mind, a being, a human, a personality is here, registered, okay? Whether that I'm at 100 or 10 or whatever, it registers, it has me. It's a painful process to go through, and it's a quick one, but it has to be done. But you have a situation now where vacants have come in, vacants, right? And have written into the program, okay? This is without moral restraint or restriction. This goes to the volcano, okay? And the simple mass and form and stuff like that. And if you were to say a sexual phalanx or something like that, if you are aware of anatomy changes, you should have gotten some kind of an aspect of an ability to have a tangible idea of your physical changes, to give you an idea of, from example, from your age of birth, right, from a child to sexual maturity to the life you had and everything like that. Here's the delicate point that I'm trying to make to you right now. The life is designed to be as real as possible, of course. I think there was a problem. I think there was an error. I would not doubt that we had some kind of issue, without a doubt. And we may have had some kind of correction attempted, right? Whether automatically or through a process. But we may, and what seems like we may definitely have had this happen, where vacants in the program tried to write their own program, okay? Now, that is without moral dilemma, okay? Now, when I tap into my id, my subconscious, my ego, my awareness, it's painful, it's rough, it's vulgar, it could do a lot. And when we go to issues, and for example, here is a freeze-up word. This is part of the vacant program. Pedophilia is designed to be kind of a stymie word. Go right in there and kind of freeze you up, right? It's a catchphrase. It's a slumber phrase, right? The vacant program uses that, and he uses it a lot, right? Now, we have that situation where the program's trying to use integrity, trying to keep stability, trying to keep things, intact. And that has to be our entire goal. You don't sit there and say, well, I've left the party, so I'm going to leave a nuke to go 100 hours after I'm gone. I don't care. We have to work at the entire system. We have to work at this entire program, the entire situation. The problem that we have is we do have a problem with vacants. They are in there. They're in the system. They've been following some of you in chats and conversations. They've had their own channels, that kind of thing like that. And I'll just give you a clue to who a lot of them are. If you got nothing but manned animals, you're getting what the system is feeding you, right? And that goes back to this right here, folks. Why have we got this? It's the system working. There's some practical work, some practical application where the system's saying, hey, I'm trying to save the thing, right? The ship. Absolutely, truly. And so are the conscious working minds. What we may have had a problem with is with vacants. If we have the vacancy, and that's what I'm trying to say, is like the absence, it's a void. It's absolutely nothing trying to come in and take shape and form in the void, right? Without moral restraint, you can get anything. And the system may have preparations for that event, and that is our dilemma. That's going to be a painful issue because we're all going to have to deal with that. We're dealing right now with the skipper on the deck working his ass off, or her ass off, excuse me, whoever is up there, saying get up, it's just a wake up, it's just morning time, get up, or we have anything going on. But right now it seems to be the situation is that the vessel has situations that have to be worked out. They have to be worked out promptly, they have to be worked out quickly. We have to use all the methods that we have available, and we have the added problem of a systems failure in data. Okay, a data failure, and it's worked across the board, and the system is working the entire thing right out visually, right in front of you, in your mind, in your subconscious, and everything else like that. But we have the vacants trying to save, in essence, a zero program. And that is just about it's a bad situation, and we have to work this out. Again, our problems is basically this, is the vacants have written a program, and there's you can see where you have that, use the symbol. Your mind can phantom this because you are in existence. You don't take things literally. A vacant will take things literally. A vacant has no nuance of complex thought. They're just a presentation, right? So if I try to tell you the volcano tries to go and be a pyramid, you can, in your mind, grasp that concept. Now, the entire system is working itself out. The Earth, the entire issue with that's going on right now, we have to work that system, and we have to work the system that we have right now with the hatch in Antarctica. We got to go down there. That hatch is open. I got nothing. It's like myself. It's like I've got limitations myself as to where I can go, how far I can go. When I go down there, I wouldn't doubt that it's like somebody who's totally out of air and has no capacity to go down there and try to gain information. That's going to be rough. This one's been long. It's been necessary. It's something for you to contemplate. Our issues are the vacants have issued and written a program inside the system, and that is not good. Texas Danny out.